everyone, my name is Selina, and today I'm starting my first project vlog because I'm still knitting on my Braidy Loop Sweater, as I shared in my first knitting podcast episode. I'm gonna link the video maybe on the info box thing that's popping up in the video, so you can check it out if you want to. And yeah, today I am wearing my finished object. It's actually a gift knit, but I thought I'd just wear it because it looks so pretty. Yeah, but I wanted to share something else with you guys. So if you watched my last knitting podcast episode, you might already know this. I'm knitting the Braidy Loop Sweater from Otherloops, and yeah, it gives me so much joy. I'm knitting it up in the color matcha from a sandness yarn. I'm using, as a fingering weight yarn, I'm using Sunday, and as a lace weight yarn, I'm using Tynn Silk Mohair. And I already started knitting on the Braidy Loop Sweater when I was on holiday, and I did not vlog there because, yeah, I was on holiday, and I just decided to vlog now, and that's how far I've come. It is a saddle shoulder construction, with these really, really pretty cables that start in the neck and then on the shoulder, and then they're gonna go down the arms. And I recently just started to join the two shoulders in front, and I think for the next few steps it's just gonna be knitting in the round and doing cables and this super nice ribbing. I mean, it's so pretty. I'm really excited to knit on this again, and yeah, I thought I'd just take you along, share my process, maybe share obstacles I encounter during knitting. To me, this is quite a complicated pattern. I never knit cables, and it's a pattern where you really, or at least I do, where you really have to be quite focused and aware of what you're doing, or at least where you're at in the pattern. Yeah, I think maybe now that I'm just gonna knit in the round for a few rows until the shoulders and the arms are shaped, and then obviously I have to at some point separate arms and body, or sleeves and body, but I think until then it's gonna be a bit easier. But the whole construction, so you basically do start on one shoulder, then you do the other shoulder, and then you join them, and then the whole thing even like starts to look like a proper construction. Before that I was just like, what am I doing? Where am I? I had no idea. So to me this is quite a difficult pattern, but I'm super excited to continue. Hi guys. I thought I'd just share a little bit more detail about the pattern, because I think before I did not do that. So the Braidy Loop Sweater is done by Otherloops. That's what I told you already. It is a saddle shoulder construction and a top down construction, and it has two cables that start in the neckline and then go down over the sleeves and over the rest of the body and the arms. It has really like big ribbing. The recommended needle size is 4.0 millimeter needles, and the gauge is 22 stitches over 30 rows. One of the recommended yarns is Norway's Wool by Knitting for Olive, which is 50 grams over 225 meters. And also from Knitting for Olive, it's recommended to have the Soft Silk Mohair, which has 25 grams and is also 225 meters. Yeah, I think that's just like basic info that has to go into a project blog. I also wanted to say I did not hit gauge. Let me just quickly check. No, it's on the phone, which I'm filming with. Okay, I'm gonna blend it in. I'm just gonna put it somewhere what my gauge was. I also sized down to a 3.5 millimeter needle. Somehow those are just the needles I usually knit on, with like one fingering weight and one lace weight yarn. I always end up with 3.5 millimeter needles. I also did a gauge swatch with the 4.0 millimeter needle version, but it was just too airy, the fabric. I didn't like how it looked, so I then sized down. Yeah, since I'm not doing any modifications because the pattern is quite complex to me and I've never done cables and the whole construction, I also never done saddle shoulder construction. So since all of that is new to me, I'm not doing any modifications. I'm knitting size 1, which has an estimated positive ease of, I think, 14 centimeters. I think the German accent is coming through sometimes. That's fine. For the second size, because there is a second size, the estimated positive ease is 32 centimeters, so much bigger. And I was reading a lot of other like project posts on Ravelry from other people and looked at the pictures and also what yarn they used, and kind of like tried to figure out, do I want to size up or am I just gonna knit the first size? And I decided to knit the first size. And yeah, I'm guessing that my sweater is gonna be a bit smaller. Obviously I can adjust the sleeve length and the body length to my liking, so that's good. I'm just hoping that, like, obviously over the yoke, and it's not gonna be too small. But yeah, we will see. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with it and hope it turns out beautifully. Yeah, what I'm gonna do now, because I have not started to knit on it again, I just filmed the other clip and then had some lunch, and now I just wanted to start. And I looked at the pattern, and again I'm totally confused. I'm reading it and I'm like, what do I have to do? Is that the start of, do I have to start now, or do I have to start like in a few more sentences? Like, it's really hard for me to understand the pattern again, because I did not knit with it for like, I think over a month. So I decided to write down every step I have to do in my little like knitting notes book, to keep track and to, yeah, don't mess up now. Yeah, maybe that's something that would be helpful for you as well. If you read a pattern that's just too complicated, or you're not sure what's like the next step actually, I'm gonna try to write it down. And yeah, then I'm just gonna start. I hope I can start then. Okay, see you later. Hi everyone, I'm back with a little update, and I wanted to show you what I got done yesterday. I was able to knit a few hours. My hands are still a little bit hurting from that, but I was in such a super hyper focus that I got quite a lot of stuff done. I'm gonna show you. No, I can't switch. 1 second, that's gonna be another clip. Okay, so now I can show you what I got done. So as you might remember yesterday, well, that was like a few seconds ago, I showed you that I only had one row here in the front, and now I got, yeah, pretty much, I don't know, is that like 4 centimeters or 3 done, which is quite a lot. And yeah, also did 2 cable repeats, and yeah, it's quite complicated to keep track. I think in this repeat I have like a mistake. I've done it a little bit too late, and maybe this one here too early. Yeah, I hope this is gonna block out quite evenly and then it's not gonna be that visible. But here I think I got all the repeats right, and oh, it looks so pretty. I'm so excited to see how it looks when the whole sleeve is done and these 2 cables just go down. And then also it's quite interesting how the ribbing is going to be in the sleeves. As you might be able to see, I did like decreases here, increases. So there's gonna form, I think, like a 3rd ribbing here while I keep on knitting. So those are just the little details that I just see when I've done them. Like, I don't really know, oh yeah, that's gonna be a next ribbing. I don't know. Yeah, to me it's still interesting to read that pattern. I'm excited to do another one from her, just to be like, just to know if that's her writing style, or maybe, yeah, I also considered if it has something to do with the fact that I'm doing them in German and she's originally writing them in English. Maybe that does some change to the writing, and that's why it's so like hard for me to understand. But yeah, I really like the construction. I'm like, it's amazing to me that someone could imagine that and then put it in on paper and make it into a pattern. Like, it's quite intricate and yeah, just really thought through, and yeah, still excited about knitting this. Hi guys, this is editing Selina here. So yeah, I just cooked myself a little tea. This is actually the tea I talked about in my last podcast, like a really nice green tea that I cooked myself. And yeah, I had at this point realized that I had made like major mistakes. Actually in the time where I was knitting on holiday. So I thought I had done everything right, and I thought that I could just, yeah, continue knitting, and was, as you saw, really excited about continuing and seeing the whole, yeah, yoke part shape. And then, yeah, I was just so excited. It's quite funny to watch the first clips and then know what I realized later. So yeah, I had already realized that I had made mistakes. So I did a little break, I made some tea, and then yeah, made a little snack for myself. And yeah, then I actually sat on my couch in our other room and tried to research a little bit. Hi, I'm back with a little really frustrating update. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna try to blend in some sort of footage from last night, because I realized that I had made, I think, 4 really big mistakes in the pattern. Somehow I had done some things wrong, both on the back side, on the shoulder part, and also in front. So I basically could have rippled back maybe, pretty exactly until this purple marker here. So that would have been, I hope you can see it well. So I could have rippled back until like the purple marker here, because I had made like mistakes. But then I thought, okay, maybe I can try to just rip back the part that I made a mistake in and try to redo it with a really small crochet hook. On the 3 sides I was able to do it. On the 4th side I was not able to do it to my liking. So there is a big hole in my sweater here, and I'm somehow not able to redo it like it's supposed to be done. I had somehow picked up too many stitches in one of these ribbing panels. There were like 10 stitches, but I had to have 8. And somehow this happened to me on, I think on 2 sides, and on this side it was like, it just looked really weird. And also for the next steps, so when the shoulder is shaped and then you basically keep on shaping to then separate the arms from the body. I had like too many stitches, and also not like the stitches and the purl stitches, they were just not adding up. And I basically spent, I don't know, about 2 hours yesterday night trying to fix it, and then today I started at, I think, like 11:30, and now it's 3. So that's just ridiculous. And I don't know how other people understand this pattern, or if it has something to do with the fact that I'm reading it in German, and maybe in English it would have been more logic, I'm not sure, but this is really, really frustrating to me. And yeah, I fixed it now, and now I'm trying to do the next step, and again it is super confusing to me. I have no idea what she wants me to do. And like there's this one part where she's saying like, do this repeat for 8 times. So I write down like basically, I don't know, 8 rows or 16 rows, whatever it says, and I just check them off, and then she changes and tells you pretty exactly like in this row, and then she's just writing it out, like not do that many repeats, but just like really precisely describing what you have to do. And this like kind of like switch of writing style, to me it's super confusing. I don't understand what the pattern is gonna look like next. Yeah, and I think for now I'm just gonna put it down for maybe a few hours or maybe just for a few days, I'm not sure, because I cannot wrap my head around it. It's so frustrating, and yeah, it really puts me back to a time when I was a child, or I don't know, maybe a teenager, where you try to learn a new skill or you try to do something and it just did not work. However you would try it, it just wouldn't work. And that's how I feel right now. And that's like the feeling when I first wanted to start knitting again, when I was around 20. I don't know, my frustration levels were like really, really low, because I could not even read super simple patterns, and it got me so frustrated that I just threw it away and I never started knitting again. It took me like then 10 years to, I don't know, be motivated enough to like work through these parts where obviously in the beginning you don't really understand what you have to do if you've never done it. But now I feel like I've done a lot of patterns, obviously not patterns with such a complicated construction, but I made it so far. Why is it so hard now? I don't get it. And I also tried to look at pictures on Ravelry, maybe then figure out like where other people had their stitch markers, like exactly the stitch markers at this point of working the pattern, because I'm not sure if I positioned them right, and then the pattern says, yeah, you do this and that, and then you pick up the stitch marker, and then you do this and that. And I'm not sure if my stitch marker is in the right position. And that's just, it drives me crazy, you guys. Am I the only one, or is there anyone else out there who finds this pattern really hard to read? Or like another pattern? Did you experience this as well in your knitting learning journey? If so, please write something down in the comments. I'm feeling really... Hi guys, I just looked at the footage I just recorded, and I saw, first of all, that my SD card on my phone was full, so the whole end part it did not record, and then also that my head was cut off. So I'm really sorry. I'm not going to do that again, because then it would just not be authentic, I think. Yeah, I just wanted to say, for today, it's Sunday today, so I'm just gonna put that knit down. So next time you see me, I hope I'm in a better mood, in a better headspace, maybe have a bit more capacity to read a pattern, to understand it. I'm also gonna ask my work colleague, who is a really experienced knitter, if she can maybe help me. And yeah, if you see me next time, I'm gonna somehow continue, and I have then figured out how to continue. And yeah, I hope this like authenticity and also sharing a bit of frustration is interesting, or is maybe, yeah, it makes you maybe feel a bit less lonely, because yeah, being frustrated about knits, if you're sitting alone in your room, obviously it's a bit frustrating. And yeah, I always like if other content creators share like a realistic experience, and also share maybe their dead ends, or if something is failing. I think that's just really humanly, I think that's not the right way to say it, but yeah, it's not really, yeah, I just think it's authentic to share also fails, and if something's not working out, if you're just hitting a dead end, and that's what I tried. So yeah, thanks for still being here, and yeah, see you in the next clip. Bye. Hi everyone. So
I'm back. I'm back with a new microphone, so I really hope the sound from now on is going to be sharper and better. And even though I tend to speak a little bit more silent when I'm ending sentences, I hope you can still hear me. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave it here or if I'm gonna change it to another place on my pullover. But I was really frustrated in my last clip. I'm just keeping the microphone as near to my mouth as possible to get the best quality. And work was quite busy, like while editing, and I was then sick again, and then work was really busy again. So okay, yeah, I guess I'm back with a little update. Yeah, so just a few days ago, my work colleague and I, Antje, we sat down. We had time to look at the pattern during our lunch break, and yeah, we tried to figure out where maybe I had done some mistakes, and we found the spot where I've done things wrong, and it was basically when I was on holiday. So like before I started vlogging, I had made mistakes. Maybe, yeah, I'm going to tell you about what I have done wrong so that you can learn from that. As you can see, I have not opened up anything, but I'll have to do that. But I thought first I show you where we think I've done mistakes. So basically, yeah, I've done mistakes when I started forming the ribbing, which is on this, which is right here. For the front part, you start the ribbing obviously on the left and on the right side, on this side, and then you pick up stitches under the cable on this side. And for the back, you obviously pick up so much more stitches. And somehow I picked up the right stitch amount, but I then continued and did too many increases, which led to me having bigger ribbing on 4 sides. Like the ribbing in the back panels is right, it's X amount of stitches and then 2 purl stitches and then X amount of stitches again. I'm not trying to share too much information from the pattern, but yeah, I basically picked up too many stitches, or no, I did not pick up too many stitches, I increased too many times, which made the ribbing bigger on basically on the edges, on the 4 edges, which then led to me being wrong about the whole ribbing that's gonna form from there. So what we decided on is I have to rib back basically, yeah, until the shoulder parts. So this is quite a lot of amount. Yeah, that's just like a big part. I think I'm just trying to to accept that I have to do that. But we figured, since these parts where the ribbing is slowly forming is gonna continue over the sleeves, if I'm not fixing it now, I might run into even bigger problems while knitting the sleeves, because on the sleeves the ribbing then it forms, it continues for a certain amount of stitches, and then it kind of like flows back together. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think, yeah, since I already put so much work in this and I really like the look of the end product on the pictures, and I still like the yarn, I'm not giving up, yeah, and I want to knit this so that I can actually wear it and not be frustrated about it, or yeah, maybe then it would not fit correctly later on, and since I'm already not knitting with the right gauge, to then make mistakes and knowingly continue, yeah, I think for me that's just not the right decision right now. So I'm gonna rip back, even though this is like, yeah, it's quite a big setback, and I think I'm gonna rip back today, but I'm not going to knit on it furthermore today, because I have, like, next week it's gonna be Christmas and I still have to finish 2 gift knits, and I want to focus on them today. But I thought I would just, share share my my huge setback, basically, to finish this part of the vlog. I know maybe, most of it was me ranting about how sad I am about the mistake. But yeah, that's, I think, for most knitters, or maybe not for most knitters, but at least with everyone I talked about it, they all said that sometimes you just have to ramp back a huge amount of stitches, and that's me right now. Oh yeah, I hope you're still with me, and I'm really excited to. No, I'm not. I'm not excited. I'm lying. I'm definitely not excited to ramp back, but I hope I can then do a fresh start. Be really precise about those first stitches that I pick up and the first decreases, so that I can continue correctly. And I think once I've done that and I'm really aware, like now I know what the next step is going to look like, at least until I hit the same spot where I'm in right now. And I also considered, if then again I'm not sure what I have to do, I'm just going to write Otherloops. I'm just going to send an email and ask, what do I have to do next? I don't get it. That's always an option you have. Not an opinion, that's an option. Yeah, that's always an option you have, to just write the person who wrote the pattern and ask for help. I mean, yeah, other people have done that, so why not do that as well? So yeah, I will see you next time. I'm not sure when the second part is going to come up on YouTube. I guess we will just see how much mojo I have during my free time. I'm going to have 2 weeks off over Christmas and then over New Year's to have a lot of time to knit then. And okay guys, this is it for my first part of this project vlog. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did so, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to my channel. You can also check out my first knitting podcast. I'm gonna put it either on this side or on the other side. And yeah, happy knitting. I'll see you next time. Bye.